Hi there, it's Friday. That means then it's only one thing. So it's Denise's Friday 5, and today we're going to talk about 5 secrets to transform your marketing material. So let's move on. And a huge welcome to those people who've subscribed and signed on to hear more about the Friday 5. Just a little bit about me. I teach, I train, and I mentor business owners and executives on copywriting and communicating clearly. I'm also the award winning author of 31 Days to Write Better Copy. And so, exactly, what is Friday 5? Well, Friday 5 does exactly what it says on the tin. It's 5 quick tips on copywriting, on marketing, and communications. So, you ready? Let's get started. Tip number 1 today on today's Friday 5. Replace we for you. Listen, everyone is just self-interested, and it's fine. I'm pretty sure that you're interested in what you're having for your own lunch than in what I'm going to have for my lunch. And that's fine, because as humans it's just a characteristic. We are naturally self-interested. So what you need to do is that you need to do what you need to do twice. That's it's I've said it twice, so it's so important. But what you need to do is replace we and put you in your text or your copy. Because when people see you, they start to see themselves. When they see we, they don't see themselves. And what you want to do is people to see you in terms of your product, your service, you, the problem that you solve, you, the solution that you provide. So it's the added bonus. So people see themselves, you, when they read your copy, and then they'll see the value or the benefit that you bring to their lives. So try it. So replace we for you, and I think that you'll find that it's really beneficial. Now, tip number 2, manually spell check. And yes, I know, who does that, right? But it's often an underused tip. And I remember being back in high school, and when I didn't know how to spell a word, my English teachers would say, go and check the dictionary. And Mr. Lyons, wonderful teacher, but I could never understand why he would make me go back to the dictionary if I did not understand or spell a word. It's like, where do I start? But actually, you know what? As I got older and wiser, maybe more wiser than older, I realized that once you actually check a word and once you verify it, you will never misspell another word again. So it's good that you don't rely necessarily on the manual spell check, particularly maybe if you're marketing to a different area. They've got combinations of different letters. In the US they say Z, in Europe they say S. Little things like that that may not be picked up on the manual spell check, on the automatic spell check that you will check when you do the manual spell check. Make sense? It's all about verification. Now, moving on to tip number 3, and it's the power of reading aloud. Yes, I am often found reading copy going, I'm reading this really slowly. And why do I do it? It really helps me notice if I'm missing a word. You see, we're so fast in terms of writing and typing or writing down that oftentimes we miss a word. And it's that vital word that stops the flow of a sentence, or perhaps it jars somebody when they're reading, so because there's a missing word. So if you read it aloud, excuse me, and if you read it slowly, then you'll find that you'll start missing it. Like if you take tip number 2 and tip number 3 together, I've got an example there of than and that. A lot of times I'll see copy and people have it written than and that, just because it's easy to mix up, and it's the spell check won't pick it up because the spell check knows that it is correctly spelt word. But if you need to, if you read it aloud, you'll say than instead of that. Well, then of course it's obvious to you that you've made a little mistake. So try it. You'll notice little things, and little things can make a huge difference. So read aloud, which kind of brings us into tip number 4, which is notice your foibles. And really, it's just to keep a little note of what you always write. It's those things that you constantly write down, and I think you'll notice it more and more and more as you write and read back over what you write. So, particularly when you read aloud, you'll see like that a lot of people that I would be familiar with in terms of copy, that they would write that versus which. Now, of course, there is the grammatical structure with that versus which I'm not going to go into now, but people would use one over the other. And neither, it's not right or wrong, but it's just something that you do from like yourself. For me, I always write in summary. You will see at the end of pretty much every single article I write, every e-zine I write, every blog I write, I'll always write in summary. And I guess in my mind, I'm wrapping things up. Should I use it as often as I do? I'm not sure, but it's just something that I know that I write quite a bit. And so, because I know I write that, when I write for other people, it's rare that I will actually write that for other people. So, it's just important to kind of just be aware of your little foibles. It's a little tip that's often underused, and I think the more you practice writing and the more you write, you'll notice it. So, just practice it and you'll see those little idiosyncrasies. Now, tip number 5 is leave it behind for a while and let your copy settle. Now, I've written a blog post, and it's actually one of the most popular blog posts I've written, and it was picked up in the media, and I think it was included in the Irish Independent, a lovely big pint of stout, when I did an interview all about copywriting. But I still stand by it, and for anybody who's ever seen or tasted even a really good pint of Guinness or a good pint of stout, the bartender will always let it settle, and they'll fill it 3/4 of a way, they'll let it settle, they'll go away, they'll serve somebody else, they'll come back, and then they'll finish it off. And that's exactly what you should do with your copy. You should go for a walk, go for a run, go for a cup of tea, go for a cup of joe, whatever it is, because when you come back, you've got a fresh pair of eyes, and errors will just be popping out at you. So read aloud at this stage. You'll notice lots of errors. Read slowly, of course, at this point as well. Do the manual spell check. Little things at this stage that you will notice that wasn't there before, but is there now, and it just gives you that extra comfort factor before you hit the send button or the publish button or tell the publishers or the printers to print it. So definitely leave it behind. That is a key secret to writing really good marketing material. So, as I said, I'll bring it all back together in summary. Replace we for you. Go and try it. Go and try it. Actually, this as soon as you finish this very Friday, go and change it to we for you, and you'll see that you do talk about values. Do a manual spell check. Read aloud, very important. Note your little idiosyncrasies just for your own writing, and then leave it for a little while. So that's our Friday 5. 5 little insider secrets I think that you will find incredibly useful should you use them, which I hope you do. And so then, please do feel free to tell me how you got on with the 5 tips. I'm over at denisefay.com. Do leave a comment on the blog. This will be up on the blog as well. There is my email address, denise@achievemarketing.ie. I'm over at facebook.com, and I'm on LinkedIn, so please connect, and I'm also on Google+. So it's been a pleasure. They're the Friday 5 top tips for transforming your marketing material, and I look forward to talking to you next Friday. Take care. Bye.